Hi, thank you for joining us today. We are going to get started in just a few moments. We're letting everybody in, so just please be patient. We'll get started in just 1 minute. Thank you for joining us. I'm Terry Kimball, President and CEO here at the Chandler Chamber, and thank you for joining us for our strategy for success, making social media work for you. And I can't wait till you hear from our next presenter. I have Christian Weninger with us. Christian, welcome.
Hello, hello.
Hello, thank you. I want to tell everybody a little bit about you because even though you're young, you've got pretty amazing little bio already going, and what you're doing in social media is very impressive. Christian actually began his social media journey as a project in a high school class here, actually in Chandler Unified School District. At just 17 years old, he successfully managed a team of 20 staff members and 55 models for his online publication, QNDP Magazine. Now at age 20, Christian runs his own digital marketing agency in the Valley and works with over 25 businesses across the country. His young age and deep knowledge of digital marketing has helped his clients reach over, are you ready for this? 4.15 million people in the past year organically. That's pretty amazing, Christian.
Thank you, thank you.
I can't wait. So how do we make social media work for us?
Well, let me show you. Alrighty. Well, as the title is, make social media work for you. We are going to be going over how to understand, you're going to understand 8 social media platforms, and you're going to have an in-depth knowledge of 4. You're going to get some ideas of how to grow your digital footprint, and you're going to master how to best manage your time in relation to social media. Now, social media is critical. It is not just a marketing tool, especially now, past the pandemic and in the midst of it still. People rely on social media for their news, for education, but not only that, people rely on it for entertainment, to laugh, to be inspired. And so as a business, and to have a business in the community, it's important to leave your mark and have that digital footprint for people to see. So to get started, we're going to go over some social media platforms, and some of these might look familiar, some of them might not, but we're going to go over each one and to give you a better idea. So Facebook, everybody knows Facebook, and Instagram. Those are both very community-based. Instagram is a very visual social media platform, and Facebook, like I said, is a full community where everyone can connect. They can start a conversation, they can share. That's where people share their family photos, that's where people share their moments. Twitter, a lot of people rely on Twitter for news at this moment, and it's a great place to build that thought leadership as well. TikTok, which we will be covering today because your business might actually need to be on TikTok. It is the easiest platform to grow on significantly compared to any of these other social media platforms. The engagement rate is significantly higher. And TikTok, you can actually funnel a following from TikTok into Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And I will be showing you how to do that today. LinkedIn to grow you professionally and to prove you as a thought leader. Pinterest, everybody's probably has a Pinterest board for their new house or to redesign their garage or party ideas. It works a lot more than that. It's actually great for SEO, for your search engine optimization, and helps you be found nationally, internationally. Even if you're just located here in Chandler, it really can make a big difference. Snapchat is very big with a younger demographic like me. People rely on it to communicate, and they've invented a lot of different mediums where you can, your business can have geofilters, can have lenses, and connect with an audience that you might not have been able to before. And this waving hand, which might look familiar to you on the bottom right, is a brand new social media. called Clubhouse. And Clubhouse is an invite only at the moment, an invite only platform where it is an audio chat room where you can join different audio chat rooms and you can mingle with different thought leaders and meet different people across the globe and communicate with them, network, and learn ultimately. And it's a really great program. And in fact, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, they're all trying to replicate something similar. So the audio trend will be coming shortly to everybody. So let's dive in on some features that you can utilize that will significantly help you grow your business pages. Because the goal of this presentation is to help you with your time management, so you're not spent so much time trying to learn and trying to figure things out, try to make things digestible for you and how to best manage your time, because you're a business owner and you're wearing all these hats. You're trying to figure out where to go in this crowded social media world. So let's make it a little easier for you. So let's talk about some tips with Facebook. And I've got some examples here on the left as well. So first and foremost, utilizing community groups. Now, I don't think you need to be, by no means are community groups your advertising bulletin where you put a graphic flyer that you made out there. Community groups are conversational. People want to talk, people want to interact, and they want to feel a part of a community. And that's a big common theme in Facebook. So instead of posting something very salesy, maybe do something like how we have on the bottom left here. This is an example of a post that Ginger Monkey Gastropub did in Living Chandler, where for the March Menu Madness competition, they asked, which dish would you want to try, Mayor Kevin Harkey's or Councilman Renee Lopez's? And you can see here the I Love Bacon Snow on Dog or the albondiga soup. And it was really successful because people gave their opinion. There were only two options, so they knew that either way their answer was safe. And it also builds great engagement for you. Since this post was shared from Ginger Monkey's original post to the community group Living Chandler, they are also able to invite everybody that liked that page to like their own personal page, or like that post to like their own personal page. So creating Facebook events is very effective because if they mark that they're interested, that they're going, they will, the event will share to their Facebook feed and to all of their friends on their profile as well, inviting more people and expanding your exposure and reach organically, which means free. And we all like the sound of that. Also, video is king and a quality picture is queen. Obviously, like I said, graphics are effective, but for significant engagement, an increase would be for video or quality picture. People are looking to digest information in a pleasant way, in a way that is relaxing and easy to them. So a video is great because they can just sit back and relax and watch while still getting that information that you want to get across. Same with a quality picture. They want to be wowed. They want to feel something. So are you educating them? Are you inspiring them? Are you making them laugh? Are you entertaining them? What is your point across? And how are you doing that? So as you can see here, this is a video post of a news broadcast for Born Again Vintage. And it got 527 engagements and it reached 3,000 people. Well, only 400 people liked their page. So they were able to increase the reach from the video organically from people engaging with it. And like I said, keep it very conversational. Facebook is where people want to share their opinion, want to talk, and they want to show you their updates, their life updates, and what they're going through. Keep it conversational. That's really going to help you build brand loyalty, where people are going to talk to you and say, I really like this dish, or I'm going to pick the I love bacon dog over this one. So have fun with it. Don't overthink. Instagram. Now, Instagram might seem scary and overwhelming to some that don't know a lot about it, but it is necessary for a lot of businesses. And so I hope that these examples will help break it down a little bit better for you. We're going to start with Instagram stories, and you want to use Instagram story buttons that people can engage with. You know, the goal with growing organically is engagement, 100%. So I have an example here of a little selfie I took on my couch today, so I could show you a bunch of different options that you can do. You can have a shoppable grid where people can share this on their story and people can click it and shop right on your page if you have an e-commerce site. If you're a restaurant, guess our new drink item. Once they click an answer, it'll tell them the correct answer. Which do you prefer, a pizza or a burger? Does this sandwich look good? This not only informs you of what your customer wants or thinks, but it's getting them involved. It's making them feel like they're a part of your community as a business. They feel a part of it, and they want more, and they want to support you how they can. And that's how you're going to take them down that funnel, from brand awareness to sale. And they'll eventually become your cheerleader if you keep on that right path. If you're having an event, they have a countdown clock until my live webinar, which is right now. Ask me a question. Maybe you're a thought leader and you want to know if you have questions in the wedding industry, if you're a wedding planner, or the event industry. That's a good way to prove your leadership and your knowledge of the topic. You want to create content that can be shared or saved as well on Instagram. People can share your post to their stories, and it is highly effective to reaching new audiences. So this one, for example, us when our reel doesn't go viral as expected, and they put a little GIF of someone saying, keep moving forward. It's relatable, it's funny. They are a social media agency, so they are planning on having social media managers share that out. But it works for any industry. People get, there's entertainment, there's humor behind it. And it grows you organically, and it shows that you're not a boring business, that you're more than that. A variety of content. Instagram has so many new features, and their algorithm is going to reward you by using them. Something I just touched on, Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels is TikTok's little cousin, I guess you could say. Very similar, and it will significantly help your growth by pushing those out. I have a screenshot here from one of our clients, and you can tell they reached 275,000 people just from a video, from a birthday video of the little kid eating cake. So it helps you reach a new audience because it's being distributed differently, because it's using TikTok's algorithm on Instagram. And we'll touch more about that on the next slide. Hashtags. I'm sure a lot of us have heard about hashtags, and all of our heads are probably spinning. How do I know what hashtags to use? How do I know how many? How do I know if they're effective? For starters, I would suggest looking at your competition, your competitors. See what they're using, see what they're doing, and see if they have measurable success. Are they getting a lot of engagement? Do they have a lot of likes? Has their following increased? You can also, which we'll talk about also in this presentation, is getting a scheduler and a secondary program like Later or Buffer or Sendable or Hootsuite. And those programs will let you know what hashtags you should be using, what hashtags fit your mold of your business and your industry. Again, helping you with that time management where you work smarter, not harder here. If there's a program that's going to let you know that this is what you could be doing, why not do it? So it will help break down what hashtags you should be using for your industry. Just as a tip, I suggest using 10 to 20. And you want the hashtag to be about 250,000, I would say maybe even 100,000 to 500,000 posts. Because if you pick a hashtag that's like hashtag food and it has millions upon millions of things, your post is going to go right off down, because social media is pretty much a search engine. Hashtags people could use to find you in a different way. You don't want your post to necessarily immediately fall to the bottom. You want to be able to stick up there and drizzle your way down from other new posts coming in, so you can reach that new audience organically. And then Instagram Reels is so important to growth. One of our clients was able to reach 1.9 million people in 1 month just from Instagram Reels. And they only had 11,000 followers at the time. 1.9 million people for making fun videos that, shows your brand and who you are and humanizes it. Not only will help drive sales, but it will build that community. And that's the big thing that will help you, is having a community and humanizing your brand. So TikTok. I know some of you are probably thinking another social media platform for me to focus on, another thing for me to do. TikTok is the easiest platform to grow engagement on and just grow in general. So let me give you some pointers, and then let me see if maybe your business is a right fit for TikTok. So first, the 3-second rule and batch theory. So as you can see here on the right, there's 2 TikToks from the same person, one after the other, and one has 800,000 views and the other only has 4,000. How TikTok algorithm works is you will post, and they will send it out to a few different people. And depending on how much engagement that post gets in that amount of time will determine how quickly and how many people it will reach. If they think that it's not good, it's not going to get a lot of engagement, they're not going to share it, because all of these social media platforms' job and purpose is to keep us, the people that are on it, the users, on their platform as long as possible. So they're going to push the content that they think is going to keep people on the longest. So that is how they test content. How will you be able to pass that theory in the 3-second rule? Well, you want to tell stories, something interesting and exciting. TikTok actually just announced this week that they're going to have auto-generated captions for TikTok, which will significantly help. But tell an interesting story, make a statement that's fun, or something that might cause a discussion in the comments. Join a trend. Hashtags are very useful in here, but so are audios. You might have seen some dancing videos on TikTok, people dancing. Well, the songs that they use are just like a hashtag too. If I clicked that audio, it'll take me to all the other TikToks that have used that audio before. So it's just like a hashtag. It's like double dipping your chip. So joining a trend, doing something that is currently in the moment and moving is also effective in growing your reach as well. So you have a TikTok that does really well, maybe, and then you start getting stagnant. You wonder what to do. Well, recycle and recreate your wins. Look at what has done well and what has not done well, and make TikToks that are similar. You can, even after enough time has passed, repost that TikTok again. Also, you want to make sure that you're engaging with people on here too. You want to duet, which is where half the screen is their video and the other half is you. And you can be reacting to their video. You can be doing a dance with them. You can be talking about your business. You could be showing them your pizza that you sell and how you can flip it or hold it in the air and toss it, stretch the dough. Just remember that people use TikTok primarily for entertainment. And it's also a younger demographic too. So if you're looking to target, their primary audience is 16 to 25. They do have a significant growth in an older audience, upwards of 45, 50. But at the moment, it's still kind of a youthful app. But there's definitely an easy way to grow on it. And you can translate the following into Instagram. Once you have a lot of followers there, they're going to want to follow your journey, and they will easily translate onto Instagram and to Facebook. We had a client that had 1.7 million likes on TikTok. They had 100,000 followers, and we saw from their growth from TikTok suddenly to turn into growth on Instagram, people following right away. We were gaining like 100 new followers a day on Instagram, just from that translation of the content of TikTok onto Instagram. So it's a great way to get your foot in the door, especially if you're trying to reach a more national audience or a niched audience. You're either going big or you're going small, but it'll work. And be fun and be playful on here as well. If you're looking for an app to use to edit these videos on or to start and test around, you don't need a fancy camera, you don't need a fancy program. You can use an app called Inshot, which is on here on the slide, and it'll work for Reels and TikTok. You can add your logo to the bottom to implement that branding and reaffirm it. You can add music, you can add transitions, you can add fun effects. It'll make it easier for you and save a lot of time. But if you do plan on moving to TikTok, just make sure that you're aware of what trends are going on. I was just spending 30 minutes every week minimum, just looking through content and really absorbing what's going on and seeing what's trending and see how can I recreate that for my business. A lot of foodies are trending right there right now on TikTok because they'll go into restaurants and they'll take a fun video. Who doesn't want to see a nice like pizza slice being pulled with all that cheese, or a burger bite? But I've also seen a huge increase in e-commerce that is moving to TikTok too, because they're implementing shoppable TikToks. So a lot of things are happening here. I would definitely recommend moving here and maybe just experimenting a little bit. And you can post on TikTok as much as you want because their algorithm, they're not going to show your post on like again and again and again and again in a row. If you post a million times in a row, it'll disperse it differently. So do keep that in mind. And if you're willing to give it a shot and you have the time, I definitely would. It'll definitely pay off for you. And we're going to go over Twitter as well. So the Twitter, people come here for news, but people also come here to stay updated, share their opinions, share their voice, and make sure that it's heard. So how do you get seen on here? First, I would recommend visual content. That's going to be a significant difference in your engagement. And you're probably seeing a pattern in some of these points that I'm making for each one of these. Visual content is always important. It should never be on the short end of the stick. You always want to make sure that you have great visual content. So for Twitter, pictures are superior, and also GIFs too. GIFs is a movable picture, a picture that moves. And as you can see here, Maricopa County has it right here. They did a little GIF for COVID-19 vaccine data. But people also use GIFs for funny things too. They're reacting to something, they're sharing their opinion, and the GIF is adding an emotion to it, or adding an extra layer that might make it comical, that might make it inspirational, that might connect with an audience more. GIFs are definitely big right now, especially on Twitter. They capture engagement. So keep that in mind when you make your marketing strategy. 2 to 3 hashtags distributed. What I mean by that, and both of these are actually great examples, is we are proud of every hashtag Waymo1 writer. They are putting the hashtags in the caption rather than at the end. Not only is it an aesthetic thing, but it actually helps with engagement. People are more likely to engage with the post that doesn't look so clunky and has all the hashtags at the end rather than dispersed in the post. Same with this Maricopa County one. Today is hashtag data day. You can have 2 to 3 because Twitter is very hashtag. People do look on hashtags all the time. So it would be very helpful to include at least 2 to 3. I would say at the max 5 on a tweet, as long as they're just evenly distributed in the post or in the caption. Twitter, people are looking for multiple posts per day if you can, if that pertains to your business. And not only that, but they're not just looking for you to be the storyteller on Twitter. Retweet posts that are involved in your industry that your followers might want to know, or that your target audience might want to know. Share that with them. They'll be appreciative because they want to follow an account because they know that the information they're getting or what you're telling them that they like or that they need to hear or that they're learning from. So you don't have to be the only voice that they're hearing on your account. Share other people's. If they're not necessarily direct competition, share their voice, retweet or quote tweet like how Waymo did here. They are commenting that this Joel Johnson did 1,000 miles in their Waymo and that they're very proud. They're giving their opinion and they're showing that they're involved in that community and they're building the community, which is a big goal here. I know I'm kind of pouring a lot of information on you, but I promise I've got some overall tips that will definitely help to help clean up time management. Now that you have all this information, what do you do with it, right? So here are 4 tips that are going to overall help you. 1 is schedule your content. Would you rather spend 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, trying to come up with a post, make a graphic, find a picture you can use, take a picture, write this caption, manually publish it? Or would you rather just spend 2 hours, 1 day every week, coming up with all of your content for the week? You're busy, most likely. You wear all these hats, like I said. You don't want to be worrying about another thing that you have to do every single day. So I would recommend starting with creating a content calendar. That could be you going to Office Depot and buying a calendar for the year and getting a pencil and writing out what ideas you might have. What is my competition doing on social media, and what can I do that will engage people, or that's a little bit different and out of the box? Write down some post ideas. It'll keep you accountable, and then get a scheduler website like later.com is what I personally use. There's Sendable, there's Buffer, there's Hootsuite. You could do your research and look at different ones. But it'll take you 3 hours a week or less if you just do it all at once, caption everything. I would probably say it would take more to 1 to 2 hours, depending on what your business is. And it's one less thing to worry about, saving you time. Also, if you don't have the time or the ability to post frequently, I recommend posting 5 times a week on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, I recommend 2 to 5 times a day, depending on your business. TikTok, I recommend posting as much as you can possible. For us, we would post 2 to 3 times a day for some of our TikTok clients, depending on what their needs were. But if you don't have the time, rather than try to do all of these social platforms, just focus on 2 that you can handle, 1 or 2. Make manageable goals for yourself. Don't jump into this fire, just slowly work your way up. And if you're just having 2 and maybe you have 5 accounts, but you only have time to post on 2, optimize your profile on all of them. Because when people go to your profile, it's like they're looking at your report card, your portfolio, your website. Have a clear bio or description, just use a few words each and have an emoji and click enter. And just have it be nice and playful rather than writing a paragraph. Use a bio link website. If you are like the Chamber of Commerce, for example, you have events and you have people that want to sign up to be members, and you have networking groups, and you have a bunch of different reasons people go on your website, free PPE kits. You might need a website, a bio link website, because on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and a lot of other social platforms where your profile, you're only allowed to have 1 link on it unless it's in the post. So maybe you have a separate thing, like a bio link website, which later the scheduler has, and you can have click here for events, click here for this, click here for that. It's just they click the link in the bio and it takes them to this page, and it breaks down what they might be going for. Instead of them having to shuffle through your website and figure out what they need, they can just easily get what they need done, and find the information that they want quickly instead of having to dig through your site for it. And then a clean profile picture. If it's like Facebook or Twitter and you need a cover photo, a clean cover photo too. You want to be seen as, you don't want to be seen as sloppy. You want to be seen as you're very clean cut, pristine, and that you put time into this as well, because you want them to put their time and their money into you. Thinking outside the box is humongous. It's such a big deal because you're going to blend in with the background noise if you don't. There's so many people on social media right now. You need to be thinking, what can I do differently rather than what is this person doing? It's good to look behind your back sometimes and see what your competition's doing to gauge what you're doing and see, what are their measurables or what are mine. But also don't let that weigh you down so much. You need to be thinking, what can I do to reinvent this? If you work for Edward Jones Investments, for example, you need to be thinking, what can I do differently? Rather than doing the same, graphic post that everyone else is doing. Or what about, I'm a realtor. How do I showcase my open house differently than everyone else's? What features can I use to grow on the algorithm? Being unique will pay off. Being unique and using these new features and new social channels will pay off on you. It might take a little time in the beginning, but there will also be a reward. And then analytics. Review your analytics often, because if you're going blindly into this and you think, I think a lot of things are great ideas. I'm sure we all do. But at the end of the day, your analytics are going to tell you what is working and what is not working and what needs to be changed. Because at the same time, you need to listen to your audience and see what they want and what they're doing. Specific to like TikTok or Instagram Reels, for example, it takes time for some of those to gain traction. One of our clients, it wouldn't be until a week or 2 weeks later that their Instagram Reel might go viral, and there would be 8,000 comments and 200,000 likes. So we review our analytics twice a month, to make sure there's been enough movement on it, and so we can really evaluate what our next step should be for the post. So I'm sure that there's probably some questions out there, and I'd love to hear them and help you guys save time and really step up your social media game. You can find me or Never Not Social on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Clubhouse, or TikTok.
Wow, Christian. Wow, I'm busy taking notes still. Okay, I have some questions. There were some questions also in the chat. Okay, TikTok, a 3-second rule.
Yes. So the 3-second rule is, and you should always keep this as a rule of thumb for pretty much any content you make. People are busy scrolling and you want to catch their attention quickly. So the 3-second rule and the batch theory go hand in hand because you only have 3 seconds to capture their attention. So what are you going to do in that first 3 seconds to really win and steal and have them like?
Yeah. Okay. You talked about there were so many different platforms, and I know some, depending on what type of business it is, some of the businesses perform obviously much better on others than how do you evaluate that? I'm a small business owner. I'm a small retail business owner here in Chandler. How do I evaluate what's going to be the best for me to be on?
Great question. So first, I get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I would write down who is my competition and who is my target audience. That is the biggest thing that will help you determine that, because if your target audience is 18 to 25, you're going to need to be on TikTok, or maybe you need to be advertising on Snapchat and Instagram, where if you are a thought leader, you are a motivational speaker, TikTok might be beneficial for brand awareness, but LinkedIn is where you're going to make those connections. Clubhouse is where you're going to make those connections and really network and get yourself out there.
Okay. So how many hours should an average business person put into their social media a week?
I would say 3 hours a week is what I would say is a safe number. It might be shorter, it might be a wee bit longer, but I think 3 hours is probably close to what people would have. And I would highly suggest just spending one day, your Sunday afternoon, your Monday morning, whatever it is, and just focusing on it and just getting it done for the week. So you don't have to carry that around with you. You don't have to worry about it.
3 hours, really? Because everything that you covered here, my head is spinning. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's going to take me 3 weeks.
You want to set manageable goals for yourself. And by no means do I expect any business to think they're Superman and try to handle all of these social platforms. Instead, I want you to focus on what can you do well. You want to focus on the quality over the quantity of channels you're focusing on. So just start with a manageable goal of, I'm going to do 3 posts on Facebook that I'm really proud of, instead of trying to do 7 posts on Facebook or 5 posts on Facebook that you're not so proud of. What would you want people to take away from your business, and how would you want them to see your business?
Wow, great information. Thank you so much. So again, how can people find you if they want more information?
You can go to nevernotsocial.com, or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Never Not Social. We'd love to answer any questions if your question didn't get answered here, or help you out if you'd like.
Great. Thank you so much, Christian. You always amaze me. Keep up the great work. And I love the entrepreneurial spirit. So thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.